Welcome to the Business Leaders Legacy Podcast, a show where we go behind the scenes of business leaders to uncover their vision, strategies, and challenges they face along the way. My name is Chris Bruner. I'm the CEO of Simply Solutions and the host of today's podcast. Today, I'm excited to have Matthew Wiseman, the VP of Sales at BrightMeds. BrightMeds is recognized for leveraging technology to streamline pharmaceutical supply, focusing on simplifying medication access and improving patient outcomes. Matthew, thank you for being here. Can you please introduce yourself, tell our listeners a little about you, your role at BrightMeds, and the clients you serve?
Absolutely, Chris. Thanks for having me. Yes, I am Matthew Wiseman. I'm the Vice President of Sales at BrightMeds. At a high level, BrightMeds is just really using technology to enable healthcare to help the customer. We want to make it easier, safer, and simpler. To be transparent, we want to make it so that our customers don't have to go to the doctor. They can actually talk to them the same way me and you are talking to the doctor. Just using technology to partner up to simplify it. But also, we are really into the GLP-1s and peptides and hormones space. Like a lot of business clinics and spas and gyms are all doing it. We're doing it mainly all online, not with brick and mortar.
Yeah, no, that's super cool, and it's very interesting to see the impact that peptides have had in so many people's lives. I know personally, I have family members that have been that it's changed their life. Being able to use them in the correct way, and it's been huge. But just to jump in to talk a little bit more about you and your role, what do you enjoy most about leading the sales team in strategy at BrightMeds?
What I enjoy most is building systems that allow people to win, not just closing deals. Healthcare isn't transactional. It's not just you buy this, you pay that. It's education, it's trust-based. And I love watching the team learn how to guide people through these complex decisions without pressuring them. And it's very rewarding. I also love that our sales team is able to get the feedback of the customer, hear what is confusing to them, what's broken, and then we could actually find the solution. Because that's what we care about is getting them to the actual solution, not just taking their money. But that feedback directly shapes how we improve our business.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That really is cool to hear. What is a single most important principle or philosophy that maybe guides your team, the approach that you bring to clients and partners at BrightMeds?
Yes, yes. Our principle and our philosophy, it's actually leading with clarity and integrity. We're not trying to confuse the customer and try to lose them or pressure them. People love to buy, they don't like to be sold. But we have to educate them first and simplify the decision for them so that way we're offering what fits for the customer, not just what we're trying to sell.
Yeah, that's so important. It really is, right? You want the customer to really know that you are on their side, looking out for their best interest, right? Not just trying to, like you said, not just trying to make that sale. That's so important. Um, you know, Shifting a little bit to trends within the industry, what are some of the biggest changes you're seeing in the pharmaceutical healthcare market right now, especially regarding about how providers or patients are adopting to new solutions?
It's been a completely different shift over the last year, I would honestly say. Patients are acting more informed. They are actually understanding the products a little bit better. They're doing their research, they're comparing, they're questioning everything, not just the pricing, but the sourcing, the convenience, the credibility. That's what we're really proud of our trust pilot scores that we get to show like these are real reviews that we're doing. At the same time, a lot of times people feel overwhelmed, and then we just want to make sure we simplify it and make it as non-complex as possible. But that's where tech comes in. Like tech really allows us to explain things, show things. That way, there's less friction on both sides.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Talking about the tech, is there any new tools or strategies, with the technology or maybe automations that you guys have been seeing in the sales process that have been changing the way BrightMed engages the market?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing massive gains from our automation and using AI in our workflow has really helped us. AI is like a employee and it needs time to grow and it makes mistakes, but it really allows us to respond faster, have a better quality response, stay consistent with how our response is going, especially outside of like business times. So that way we can respond 24 hours. But the key is knowing where the automation stops and where the human needs to step in. And that's been our big challenge right now because technology handles speed and scale. Humans handle that little nuance and they create that trust. And that's what I've seen that help us close our deals. So the best systems I've seen is a little bit of a blend of both.
Mm. Yeah. No, that is so important. Yeah, and talking a little bit about currently where you guys are, what is currently working really well at Bright Meds and in the sales specifically. What's like makes you most proud of your team to navigate through this type of market and this environment nowadays?
Yeah, it is changing and it's very complex and there's a lot of regulations out there and there's different pharmacies and but I'm proud that we've built a culture where speed and complex problems coexist. That means that we can handle these problems fast. And that's rare with most healthcare. And our ability to navigate the complexity while staying compliant with all the different state and federal regulations, keeping the different pharmacies happy so that they're getting their product sent to the customer in the right way. But our team understands the why behind all of our rules, not just the rules themselves as well.
Yeah, no, that is yeah, that's important. That really is. That why definitely is so huge, especially in healthcare. I've got some healthcare background in a different industry than what I'm in now, but emergency medicine. I've worked a handful of years in emergency room and when patients understand the why behind certain things that you're doing in healthcare, it makes a huge difference. And so, yeah, I could see how that's so important. Every sales organization, every business in general faces hurdles. Could you share maybe a challenge at BrightMeds, specifically maybe with the sales team that you guys have overcome recently? And what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, I'd actually tie this into what we talked about before, Chris. One major challenge is competing in the market where price is a noise and it's constant. And some competitors lead with a unsustainable price or just confusing offers. So what it has taught us that clarity wins over time. People sometimes might choose the cheapest option initially, but then they come back to us because they realize that we were actually the cheaper option. They just confused with the low price. And that reinforces our trust with them and keeps them with us over a longer time. And they see the value of working with BrightMeds.
Yeah, no, I love that. You said uh clarity wins over time. That is so important. That's really cool. Where in your current sales flow, workflow from, if it's either lead generation or qualifying contract negotiations or onboarding, where do you find the biggest operational bottleneck or challenge, time sink right now?
Yeah, like our biggest like bottleneck you're asking for, Chris?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so following up on that, I would just go with consistency with the leads. Um, a lot of these decisions don't happen right away for them. So we need to constantly reach out to them, even if they don't convert in the first day or week. The challenge is maintaining that thoughtful presence and engagement without overwhelming them as well. And we're solving this with better workflows, AI support, and really working on a clear handoffs between automations and a human.
Yeah. Yeah, and that really is key. Having that balance of of using technology, AI, right, to be able to leverage in a way, but not losing that human touch, right? Because people trust humans, they don't trust technology, and so being able to trust humans is the key to get, you know, to that next level. And so, yeah, that's so important. Well, I wanted to talk about the future, right? Where you're taking the sales team at BrightMeds and your role in BrightMeds in general. But I wanted to talk about the future. Looking ahead, 6 months to a year, what are the specific, measurable goals that you're focusing on achieving in the sales at BrightMed? And what is, the strategy behind achieving those goals?
We're always working on the strategy. I love that question there, Chris. But I'll give you three things that we're really kind of looking at too. Is one is really improving our conversion efficiency, making it easier for the customer and making it at a higher percentage. The second thing I would say is getting better partner relationships. We love to partner with other companies, and we can show that we can have a product that they can use and also make money on without having to deal with overhead, supply, and paying for the doctor. And also just expanding our products. That means like better unit economics by having more products. We'll get better retention by having more partnerships. And that's where we're going to have real value, not just volume. And so growth for us is really looking for sustainable growth, not just a spike.
Yeah, no, that is important, and that really leads into my next question about growth. Thinking more about growth. If you don't mind, like breaking that down a little bit more, when you talk about scaling and growth at BrightMeds, like how would you define that growth in more detail?
I would say it's not just about adding more customers, it's better customers, better outcomes, and better solutions and systems. That includes expanding like our partnerships, our reach through social media, also through online presence, but also offering therapeutic offerings that some people might be more interested in than less of the peptides, but always looking at profitability, compliance, and keeping that patient experience in mind at all times.
Yeah, no, that's so important. Matthew, I've really appreciated the time that you have given today, the insights you shared. It has been awesome to hear your perspective and just what you're doing in BrightMeds. Before you go, could you please share with our listeners where they can find more out about BrightMeds and learn about your solutions?
Yeah, Chris, of course, you could always visit brightmeds.com to learn more about our services, our partnerships. You could always follow us on social media, but you can also reach out to me. I'm here for you as well. It's matthew.w@brightmeds.com. And also, if you're looking to get started, we have a coupon code for you. If you get started with BrightMeds, you can do Matthew 25 and you get 25% off your first order.
Awesome. Thank you for adding that in. Just a little gem for the listeners. To close, I'd like to ask one last question. Since this is the Business Leaders Legacy podcast, and as the VP of Sales at BrightMeds, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Legacy is a very powerful word, Chris. So I just want to be known for someone that builds teams and systems that outlast me. I want to have teams that operate, that are run smoothly with integrity, urgency, and accountability. If PriveMed can help more people, that's all I'm about. I've been in health and fitness now for 25 years, and I've seen that now I have this technology behind me that allows me to help more people at a faster pace. So my legacy would love to be that I helped a lot of people and able to build teams that were sustainable.
Yeah, awesome. No, that's really cool, and you definitely are doing that. Hearing about all the things that BrightMeds is doing and what the technology behind the reach you guys have, it's really cool to hear about and awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, for all of the listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed our conversation, please subscribe. And again, this is the Business Leaders Legacy Podcast. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chris.